Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend a little time talking to you about you and your business. And I'm going to tee up with my very good friend, the one and only William Edmundson. You know him with Abby Executive Suites. That's Abby, ABBY.com. How are you today, William?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Thank you.
I'm a longtime fan, friend. I'm waiting for the William Edmundson baseball card to come out. By the way, with the Hall of Fame making their selections this week, I had to throw that in. But I've been a client myself of Abby for years and love what you guys do. And I love any business that helps business owners focus on their business. And because I think that's so crucial, and there's a whole lot of unnecessary distractions out there, and you're breaking through them.
Well, Kevin, it's important for any business to be focused on what they do, because after all, that's what you're there to do, and that's how you're successful. And Abby likes to be a part of that with the folks that we work with. And for those of you that don't know, Abby is a chain of executive suites, and what that is we have 23 locations where we have executive suites, typically the floor of an office building with a prominent address. And we offer turnkey office solutions, meaning if you need a traditional office with the receptionist that answers your company's name, you need meeting rooms, the Starbucks coffee that's included, copiers, all of that, we've got it. We also have some packages that are extremely popular right now we call virtual packages, and those allow people to have a combination however they want it and whatever they need for their company, but typically they include phone answering, mail packages, and then based on how often you need it, we have different packages based on time for meeting rooms or day offices.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think what you do is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your guest today.
Yeah, I'm real excited. We've got an attorney on today named Adam Tabak of the Tabak Law Firm, and he is a virtual office client at our Uptown location, which is over by the Galleria next door to Hotel Derrick. Adam, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I have been an attorney now for about, going on my 14th or 15th year. I've been on my own now for, I think, 6 or 7 years. I focus on litigation. Anything with a V in it really is what I like to do, whether it's Company A versus Company B or state the defendant or husband versus wife. That's kind of what I like to do.
Very good. William?
That's great. Adam, tell us a little bit about what your sweet spot is as far as your clients.
Most of my clients are probably small business owners or working professionals who maybe have side projects or side businesses or who have lots of things going on and who need help with whenever they have problems arise. Whether it's a breach of contract case or they need help with a child support issue or a divorce or all the above. That's kind of what I go with, is I help the business owners or those business people handle their issues.
That's great. A lot of people don't have an attorney on staff, so it's great for small businesses to be able to call someone like you that specialize in that.
Yeah, so basically, an ounce of prevention is always better than a pound of cure. You're basically the chief legal counsel for a small business for hire.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, I help small businesses, and the biggest client I have is like a $2 million in gross sales.
Right.
They have issues with breaches of contract or people who don't pay them. They get stiffed by their vendors. In this case, it's construction, so they get stiffed by the general contractors. Then I have people who sell things and they don't get their sworn account cases who they have to do collections for. And then I have the same people who own those businesses. They get divorced or their son gets arrested or those kind of things happen. And I like to be there to help them if I can. And if I can't help them directly, I know who to get them for, who to get for them. Like, if a client calls me and says, Adam, I want to do a patent. Well, that's not my thing, but I can tell you who to go to.
Yeah.
So I like to be the person they call to help them and to make sure we get everything covered and get all the bases covered when the problems arise.
Very good. Your question, William?
Yeah. Adam, you've been with Abby for a while. Tell us a little bit about how somebody with their own business why they might want to have a virtual office, and just tell us a little bit about how you use it.
Sure. Well, for me, I believe in have laptop, will travel, and so I'm always out and about. I'm in the courthouse most mornings, during the week. That means my afternoons I'm usually running around meeting with clients or having lunch with somebody. So I don't really like to have to drive back into the city or drive all around to get to an office. I like that I can go in when I need to for a meeting. I can have the room available to me just to get some work done when I have some free time. But also I like the fact that I can have a receptionist and I can have my mail taken care of. I can have packages delivered, and I have all those things that make me feel like I don't have to worry about it. It takes one worry off my plate that I don't have to, waste energy on. So for me, it just makes things easier, makes things much more streamlined, and it really helps me focus on working with clients more than, maintaining an office.
Adam, are you also doing things like developing new businesses, creating corporate statuses, those type of things as well?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I help people with, setting up their LLCs is my most common type of thing I set up for people, and I help them create the books and maintain the books and teach them how to keep everything, the corporate records up to date, because if you don't, it creates problems. Like you said earlier, an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. If you don't keep those books, you don't have everything done right, then you can, they can pierce the corporate veil if you get sued, and it doesn't do you any good to have the entity there in the first place.
We've got a couple of minutes left, William.
Yeah, gosh, Adam, that's so important for so many people. I know a lot of listeners to the show. You have a small business. There's so many rules, so many regulations. It is important to have somebody to run those things by and make sure you are protected.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't, it happens all the time where, I have cases frequently where it's a collection issue or breach of contract issue, and the corporation, for example, they didn't pay their franchise taxes. So the corporation is then disregarded by the state. Well, that means that the directors are there on a personal liability. And I was dealing with a client just the other day who was worried about that issue because he and his partner are basically having a business divorce. And they want to know if they can just let the company die, but they still had franchise taxes owed. And I said, no, because then you can get sued personally. So the issue there is you want to make sure if you're going to use a corporation, you want to maintain that shield. You want to maintain that protection by making sure that you maintain the corporate fiction that you to have that shield in place. If
Absolutely.
you don't, then you do have personal liability and you have problems. And, the other thing, too, is people need to realize if you have an LLC or a corporation or an S-Corp, that you can't, be paying your mortgage out of that checking account. You have to keep it separate. And those are the type of things I go over with people because that's a common issue.
I got to wrap it up. Adam, what is your website?
It's easy. It's tabaklawfirm.com. That's T as in Tom, A, B as in boy, A-K, lawfirm.com.
Tabaklawfirm.com. Really final thought on your part, William. How do we actually, let me just ask you to give your number.
Yeah.
We already gave out Abby.com. You can email him, Abby@Abby.com. By the way, that's ABBY. Your phone number.
Yes, you can reach us at 888-785-8800. Again, that's 888-785-8800.
Awesome. That was a fast and furious segment. All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, much more for you right here on The Price of Business.